Hello friends, my name is Ritu Sachdev. Today here let's learn how to use little bit of JavaScript in Bootstrap. Let's learn how to create a carousel. In a simple language, let's create an image slideshow in Bootstrap.
Before we start, let me preview up the carousel we are going to create in this tutorial. See here, I have 3 images in this slider. This slider contains left and right arrows. The right arrow allows me to slide to the next image, and the left arrow allows me to slide the previous image. And here I have 3 indicators. The active indicator is in white color. And when I hover on this slide, it gets pause. And when I move my mouse away from this slide, it starts again. And you can also see I have a caption for this images. Here it is. The third image is Machu Picchu, and there's some description about this, where it is located. And for the other image, it is a description, the Taj Mahal, and where it is located. So we can also give caption in this slider.
One more thing guys, this carousel is going to behave responsive. When I will shrink or collapse my browser's window, this is going to behave responsive. See? It is adjusting the width. As per the size of the device. So let's get started.
Friends, here I have already opened up Adobe Dreamweaver CS6 and the document in which we are going to work. The doc type I am using is HTML5. You can use any of the code editor software and any of the doc type. First things first, let's just link up very quickly all the remote files or CDN in our head section. This is a latest minified version for jQuery, which you can easily get from jQuery.com. And now let us go to official website of Bootstrap, getbootstrap.com. Now inside this, let us go to Getting Started tab. You can also download these files, but we will use it as a CDN. Let's just copy this Bootstrap CDN and paste it in the head section of our document. One more thing I would like you to do is add HTTP column before this files, as they are missing this HTTP column. So now we have linked up the 2 CSS file and 1 .js file for JavaScript, as we also need to have little bit of Java code. Now inside this body tag, let's have a div with a class of container, a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap. Now inside this container, we are going to create our div with an ID of slider. So div ID slider. You can give any of the ID to your div. I call it slider as it's easy to remember. Now to this div, let's give a class of Carousel, a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap. You cannot choose the name for this class, but you can choose this ID. Let us also give it a class of slide. Again a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap. And let's just close this slider div. Now inside this slider div we need to do the three things. First, we need to have indicators for our slider. Indicators are the small three dots in the bottom of slider, which controls the movement of slides, which you have seen in the preview. Now, the second thing we need is wrappers for slide. As we are going to create a slider, obviously we need to have few images. So we are going to have wrappers for slide. We will browse all these images here. Now the last thing we need to do is to have controls. These controls were the left and right arrow which you have seen in our slider, which also controls our slider. So let's proceed to do all these steps to have our slider. Now inside this div slider, let's have a data dash right is equal to carousel. Now let's have our indicators. Those three dots in the bottom. To have them, let's generate a ordered list. Let's give it a class carousel dash indicators. Now let's have a list inside this OL tags. So allied tag data dash target is equal to hash slider. This means we are going to target our div slider which we have created. If you have given your div some other ID, you can have that ID here. I have given it slider, so I will give it hash slider. Now data dash slide dash 2 dash is equal to 0. Let me just copy it and paste it few times, then I will explain what we have done. Let me make it 1, 2. These are just the number of dots we want to have in our slider. We will be having 3 images, so we have these 3 numbers 0, 1, 2. The counting starts from 0. So we will be having 3 circles or small dots in our slider in the bottom. So now to the first dot, let's add a class active to make it look different from the rest of others. So we have created our indicators. Now let's proceed to have wrapper for slides. First, let's create a div with a class of carousel dash inner. Let's close this div. Now inside this div carousel inner, we are going to have sub divs, child divs, which will contain the images. So let's have another div with a class of item. Again a pre-inbuilt class, friends. Let's close this div. Now inside this class item, let's have our image. img src is equal to images. I'm going to have this 3 images in my slider. So let me browse the first image, div within class of item, and an image inside it. Now we want to have 3 images. So let's just copy this div, class item and the image, and paste it 2 more times. Just let me change the numbers to 2.jpg and 3.jpg. The name of my images are 1, 2, 3. Now to the first image, let's also give a class of active, as this is the first one, an active image. Now let's have control for our slider, the left and right arrow. To have left and right arrow, let's have an anchor tag with the class of left the second class. Let's have carousel dash control. Let's give it a link to ID slider. Slider is our ID, if you remember, which we have created in the beginning, and inside this slider we are coding our this carousel slider. If you are using some different ID, you have to give that ID here. Let's have a data dash slide is equal to pre. As to the left arrow, when we will click, we want to have a previous image. So data slide is equal to pre. Now to have the image of arrow, let's have a span with the class of glyph icon dash chevron left. Let's close this span tag and close this anchor tag too. As we all know, Bootstrap comes along with the set of icons. If you want to learn more about these glyph icons, you can watch my tutorial. Here is my channel. Inside this you will find Bootstrap Fun with Icons, glyph icons. So in this video of mine, I have explained in detail how you can have these beautiful icons or images along with your text or elements. So you can learn in deep how we can use glyph icons and what these glyph icons are exactly. Now again, we need to have the right arrow. So let's just copy this anchor tag and paste it again. Let's just change few classes. To the left, I want to make it right. And the data slide is equal to next, as we want to have the next image when we will click on the right arrow. So let's have it next. And to the chevron left, let's have the image of right arrow. Now before previewing up, I want to make a very simple one CSS rule for this our ID container. It's a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap, but I want to have some custom rule for it. So in the head section, let me paste up something. So this is the style tag, and inside this I have given a rule dot container, as this is a class. Max width I want to have a 900 pixels. The size of the images, width of images I'm using, and that from the top I want to have a margin of 50 pixels. So let's save it up and let's preview our slider now. See here, we have now our carousel. It contains left and right arrow. In the bottom we have our indicators, these three indicators. The first one is the active one. And when I hover on this slider, it's pause. And when I will move my cursor, it's begin to slides. Now you can also have caption along with your images. Let me show you. If you want to have a caption on your images, how you can have. Let us go to our Dreamweaver. Inside wrapper for slides, where we have browsed our images, to the first image, let's give a caption for the first image. Let's again add a div with the class of carousel-caption. Inside it, let me have a h3 tag. The main heading for my caption, the Taj Mahal, is the first images of Taj Mahal. Let me also give it a subheading inside p tag, white marble mausoleum located in Agra, Uttar Pradesh, India. Let me close this p tag. So this caption inside p tag will behave as a subheading, and the main heading is the Taj Mahal. Now let's have caption for our another two images also. Let me copy this div carousel caption, close this div for the second and third images also, and have some text inside it. To be very quick, I'm copy and pasting the text inside this caption. Okay, alright. Oh, here it is. Christ the Redeemer, statue of Jesus Christ in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And for the third image, Machu Picchu located in the Peru. Let's save it up and let's have our slider with the text. Let me reload the page. Here it is. See, we have beautiful caption along with our images. See, let me sum up everything very quickly, as there are so many divs inside divs, but it is just a matter of practice. To create this carousel, first we have linked up all these necessary files. Then I have given a custom rule for this div container. I have given it width of 900 pixel, as I am using the width images of 900 pixel. So exactly I wanted the container of same width. I have given margin top. I don't want it to be so tight to the top. And so we have a div with a class of container. It is also a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap, but we are giving it some custom CSS. Now inside this we have a div with the ID of slider. And inside this slider we have to do three things. We have to give the indicators. These indicators are the small dots which we have created. I am using 3 images, so I have given numbers as 0, 1, 2. The counting begins with the 0. And to the first indicator I have given the class active, as we have a white color of this indicator. Which one is active? See, the third is active now. For creating the slides, obviously we need to have few images. So inside wrapper for slide we have given our images. We have given few classes, div, class, carousel, inner, and to browse these images again we have used some pre-inbuilt classes. As we wanted to have 3 images, so we have 3 class of item and the 3 images. Just we have copy and pasted this div class from item inside this div class carousel inner. So here we have our 3 images. And now to have the control, this left and right arrows, we have anchor tag which is linked up with the previous and next image. And we are focusing to the div slider, as the name of the div is slider. Everything is so simple, just this is the matter of practice, guys.
So this is done, friends. And if you like this video of mine, do thumbs it up and do share it. Do not forget to subscribe me. And if you want to learn these subjects directly from me, do contact me. Have a good day. Bye bye.